Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I am so glad you're here. Come on in. I'm just setting up some chairs here. I got a chair just for you to join our seance tonight. So gather around here. This is how we used to do it back in the spiritualist church days. We used to have a little room we'd gather in at the church. We had old wooden chairs like this, and we'd pull them up here in a circle, and the mediums would go into trance. Amazing things would happen. So I'm so glad you're here. This is our weekly tradition here at Spirit Channel. We gather every Saturday night, and we have a little spiritual gathering, a seance. I'm a medium. I'm a trance channel or a trance medium. What that means is I go into trance and spirits speak through me, and they bring messages through my body to the people present at the seance. And if you've never seen trance channeling before, don't be worried. It's nothing scary. It is a little strange, but I'm not in pain. When I go into trance, that allows me to step back out of the way and allows the spirit people to merge through my body and to speak and take control. It's very peaceful. You know, it's kind of like I'm asleep and I'm just drifting off. Have you ever been watching TV and you just fall asleep and you're kind of hearing the TV, but you're not connected? That's what it's like when I channel. So I'm hearing some of it, but I'm not really connected. So anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here. Well, welcome. If you're new here, I want to say welcome to the new subscribers. So here, I got a chair right here for you. Come and join us. Well, I'm going to take down the lights, and we'll see what the spirit world has. This other light up here. Anyways, I'll see you when I get back. Oh, there we go. I think we're in the body. Oh, this is Fletcher here. We're so glad to be back with all of you. Give us just a moment while we stabilize the medium's vibration. There's a lot of energy here tonight. We don't want to damage the nervous system. Give us just a moment. Yeah, there we go. Well, we got a lot of people want to come and have a little chit-chat tonight. So I'll be stepping out of the body. This is Fletcher, over and out. As I look upon the earth today, I see many people in states of despair. The feeling as if there is no hope for them. It reminds me of my younger day. There are many people who look back upon the earth and they say, when I was a young man, things were different. But I think that trouble and difficulty in the material world has been with us since time beginning. People of today, of the modern 21st century world, say life is so much more difficult and with troubles that you cannot imagine. But if you were to look at my day in the early 1900s, in Britain we did not have yet the full National Health Service that exists today. We did not have all the modern medicines, and there were tough decisions that had been made regarding economic situations and financial and business transactions. In our day, we do not have the luxury of computers and of modern technology. And so it's very easy to look back upon our time and say, well, Alfred, during your day it was much simpler. Yes, it's true, it was much simpler, but simpler does not always mean better. It's been my observation that mankind, for time immemorial, has had real illness. It is not of the body. The stresses and strains of the body though real, are actually quite minor compared to the strain of the spirit. Humanity is meant to be nourished spiritually. In our modern world, we've spent a lot of time preparing people's bodies and minds, but we have starved their very soul. In the spirit world, we look upon the world and we see the light upon the earth. And I must say that it appears to be dimming somewhat. This is a sign that tribulation of people's souls is occurring. The further you come away from the spirit world, the further you allow it to drift away, the harder it is to find your own inner voice, your own inner self. People are not taught today to listen to the voices within. They're taught only to think in terms of mathematics and scientific regulation. It is true that science and mathematics have their point. They have their time, they have their ability and their place. But you see, that does not replace the spirit. It does not replace the things of the soul. Some of you are just now awakening and discovering that there is eternal life, that you have a soul. It brings us in the spirit world great pleasure to be able to help you along your journey. If you are someone and you are saying, I do not understand the spirit, I do not believe in eternal life, I invite you to call upon me. In your time of need, say, Alfred, will you come to me? Alfred, will you help me? I assure you I will hear your call, and I will give you signs of my very presence. It is important that you have communion with our world, for you were designed to be in communion. It was never meant that man should go upon the earth and be totally devoid of all spiritual connections. It is true that we veil your minds, and when you take on the flesh, your memory is temporarily veiled. It is not erased, it is veiled. And this is an important difference. For if your memory is erased, you cannot recapture it. But if it is veiled, all you must understand is how to lift the veil. And so we invite you today to consider that you could ask for our assistance in lifting the veil. When the veil of your mind is lifted, you will begin to remember who you truly are. You are a spirit on a journey. You will remember that you have lives before this one, that you have lived eternally, and you will know that you will live again. The truth, the spiritual truths particularly, are most important to one's progress. You say, well, I have all the knowledge, I have money, I have all of these things for the earthly life. Yes, it is true. You do not understand that the earthly life also requires the power of spirit. The illusion that has been created upon the earthly life is that humankind is self-sufficient, that there is no need of a spirit, higher, greater spirit, such as the Creator, such as you might term God. This is a mistake, for you yourself are very much made in the image of God. You are part of the divine, and the divine works through you, and in you, and about you. And this light that is within you is who you truly are. But when you forget it, or even worse, pushed away, you leave yourself without comfort, without peace. The spiritual world is not something to be avoided because you are intellectual. It is something to be embraced. True intellectuals admit that there are things greater than themselves. The problem is that on the earth today there are many egocentrics, and the egocentrics want to say that they have all knowledge and all power. I challenge anybody who is a materialist, who says they control all things in their lives and on the earth. I ask you, can you resurrect a dead body? If a beloved member of your family dies, do you have the power within you to make them walk and rise, to rise from the grave and walk again? No, you do not. Many people wondered about the stories of Jesus. Jesus in the Bible resurrected Lazarus, who had been dead for 3 days. Lazarus' family came to Jesus. They begged for his help. And Jesus went to the grave and said, Lazarus, come forth. And Lazarus was resurrected. How is this possible? It is possible for those who know the Spirit and understand the power of life. Life is not simply a collection of molecules. Life is a combination of material elements as well as spiritual elements. And if you let the spiritual elements become mixed with the material elements, then you will begin to understand the beginnings of true power. Jesus was a master. He understood the spiritual element in a way that he could combine it with the material element, and this combination allowed for power. There have been many such great masters throughout history. The Lord Buddha was also one who had powers beyond the normal. It is reported, and I have heard directly from those who have studied the mystic teachings of the Lord Buddha, that the Buddha was able to levitate, to pass through solid matter, such as walking through walls. He could appear in multiple places at many times, and he was omniscient. He knew all things in the world, and nothing was blinded from his vision. This is another work of a master. There are many masters. Count of Saint Germain is also an ascended master, and he appeared actually to your George Washington in the early days of your country, of the United States. He guided Washington in his plan to build the nation so that it would be a great and free nation. The ascended ones are all about you, but you must be willing to consider that there is a reality beyond that which you see. If you will consider it and embrace it, it will become available to you. The only difference between myself and you is that I have only a spiritual body, whereas you have a material body and a spiritual body. Someday your material body will fail you, and then what will become of you? For those of you who are materialists, when the material body fails, it will be most distressing. You may be wrapped in anxiety and fear. It is at this time that the spirit world is most present for you. And if you do not believe me today, remember that in that moment of panic, when you feel the body failing you and life is ebbing away, consider that our world exists, and you might wish to call out to us. It could be as simple as saying, "Spirit people, help me. God, help me." We should much prefer that you invoke the divine presence, and then us. You see, it is the power of the divine that is most powerful, even greater than any of the great spirit guides or angels. All of us here in the spirit world know that the great spirit animates all life. And so if you will consider that there is a spirit greater than yours, a mind that is eternal, a mind that understands all things, and is intimately connected and interwoven with your very being, then you will have peace. Let is asking me to let somebody else step in. I shall be stepping there from the body. My name is Alfred. The body. Oh, hello, my dears. This is Rose. You'll have to forgive me. There's a very high frequency in the medium's body tonight in the area that we are, and it's a little difficult for us to stabilize the vibration. So do be patient with us. We don't know if our voices will fade in or out. Sometimes this occurs, but Fletcher is working to stabilize us. We're so very pleased to be here with all of you, and we thank you for your attention to our invitation. All of you who are here tonight have been called by our world. Do you know that throughout the day we reach out to each of you and we say, "We're coming to visit tonight. Please come and see us. We'd like to meet you." You may not believe that. You may say, "Well, I stumbled upon this seance by accident." But really, you were drawn here, my dears. And some of you watching this evening will be able to testify. You'll be able to say, "I felt a draw that I must go there. Somehow I knew." That is our world calling you. You know what Alfred said is so very true. It's so very important that one raises one's vibration, that one considers that there are other realities. You know, I was more fortunate than most that I did have a Church of England background. And in many ways it helped me, for I did believe in a God, though I can't say I totally served him. And I did believe in an afterlife, though I can't say I particularly knew much about it. It is important that you develop this knowledge now. Don't wait until you're on your deathbed and say, well, I guess I'll figure it out. My dears, the spiritual world is very big, very large, very complex. And the more you investigate it now, your journey here will be so much more simplified. We're so thankful for all the souls on the earth who are open to our guidance. There are many wonderful people who are doing the work of spirit. We would like each of you to consider joining our ranks. Some of you there are called to be mediums, and we'll certainly help you. Some of you are called to be healers. Some of you are called to be writers and teachers. My dears, the ways that you can serve the spirit world is practically unlimited. Do you know I have a charge that I oversee, a young lady, she lives in California, in fact. And her calling by our world is to be a chef. We said, what are you talking about? Well, she cooks for the poor, the homeless. She woke up in the middle of the night and she heard our instructions. And we said, my dear, you have the gift of cooking. It is an art form for you. We ask you to use it in service of the poor. And she began a charity that is helping people all around her area. You see, we call you all, and we don't ask you to step away from that which you know, but only to take that which you know and use it for the higher good. Some of you have talents, yet you never share them with anyone. You're afraid the world will laugh at you. You might be an excellent singer or a poet. You know all of these talents can be used to help those upon the earth to awaken. If you're a singer, perhaps you will let us channel a song through you that will uplift and inspire. If you're a poet, let us write through you to bring knowledge of the spirit world in a beautiful way that will uplift others and inspire them. Our world is not difficult to work with, and we are not far away. Just call upon us. You know, my neighbor Madge, she will say to me, Rose, would you like to come to the spiritualist church today? And I used to say, oh, no, my dear, I don't have time, you see. I'd always find an excuse to avoid going to the church with her. I thought, I'm Church of England. I don't want to be involved with spiritualist church. But you'll see, the spiritualist church had its own way of doing good, as did my church. But the important thing is that no matter where you are, whether you're a member of a church or not a member of a church, is not so important. But what is important is that you say, I'm willing to be of service to my fellow human, to those in need. Over here, we take a great joy in humans who give of themselves for the earth, to help those who are struggling. You see, so your works can be simple and yet very powerful and very beautiful. Do not think and make the mistake of thinking, well, you must sell all your clothes and home and become a missionary in Africa. Well, there are some called to that, yes, for sure. But there are many others who are called to do much simpler, yet just as vital things. You know, there was a lady I knew back in my time on earth. She was a seamstress, and she used to sew clothes and give them to homeless people. You know, you say, well, that's very kind. Yes, it was. But she was nobody of great importance on the earth, nor wealthy. But she would find scrap fabrics and old clothes, repair them, and clean them and make them beautiful. And she would give them to the poorest of the poor. Find your talent today, my dears. Think of one thing that you can do well. Perhaps some of you have many talents. I do see it among you. But find at least one talent and offer it up to our world. Ask for us to help you make it of service to the world, and we will help you. And in so doing, we will all work together for the progression of light upon the earth. Richard says the medium's power is growing weak. We don't wish to tax him. I wish to ask you before the power fades, though, remember to call upon me as well. You can call upon any of us in heaven. You can call upon Fletcher or Alfred or myself. You say, Rose, help me. Rose, will you come to me? And I would be most pleased to come to you and to be of assistance to you. Bell is fading, so I must be stepping from our medium's body. But I thank you very much for being here. It is such a blessing for my life to know all of you, and I welcome you to work in partnership with our will. I'm here. Hey, Tubies. Psychic Bob here. Well, I want to say thank you. Thanks for being here for our seance tonight. It's so very powerful. I could feel the spirit moving through me. It was amazing. Whenever I channel, it uplifts me. It brightens me. Some mediums say the channeling just wears them out and exhausts them. I don't have that experience. I actually feel even more hyper after I channel. It just ramps me up. Anyways, it's an awesome time. Well, I'm so glad you joined us tonight. And if you enjoyed this, pop over to my website, pick up this book, Messages from Rose. This is about my work as a trance channel and working with my spirit guide Rose. And I think you'll get a lot out of it. So you can get that at my website. I'll put the link in the info box below this video. Just go to my website. And up at the top of the screen, you'll see a tab that says Books by Bob's Books or Bookstore. But you click on that and you can go look at this, okay? I hope you'll pick one up and get one for a friend, you know? Also, we got Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom over there. That's also a wonderful book that I think you'll enjoy. So definitely pop over and check those out. Well, you guys are the best. I love you, and I'm so glad you're here. Listen, we're still continuing our fundraiser for the victims of Hurricane Harvey. And I have the link below to the Red Cross. And for those of you who haven't heard, I'm doing a fundraiser. And for people who donate to the Red Cross at their emergency disaster relief for the hurricane, all I'm asking is make a donation. If you can, do $10 at least. You can do more, but they're asking kind of for a minimum of 10, I think. Send me a copy of your receipt. Either do a screenshot or photograph your screen with the receipt. Send it to me at my email. Again, the link will be below, readings@robert-hickman.com. And I'm going to take all the people who do that and make those donations. I'm going to put you in a hat. And next Thursday, we're going to have a drawing. And whoever's name I draw who's been a donor to the hurricane relief, you're going to get a free private hour with me. That's right, free Psychic Bob for a whole hour, okay? It's going to be you and me one-on-one. We're going to look at your soul journey, your past lives, your spirit guides, messages, and all your questions, all that. So you get a full hour with me. And we can do that by telephone or Skype or in person. So either way, we'll make it happen, okay? You guys are best. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here. Keep it here. Tomorrow's Sunday. Hopefully we'll have good weather. Maybe we'll go to the beach tomorrow, okay? Anyways, listen, guys, I love you. Sending you blessings. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Oh, by the way, if you didn't see it, I did a video earlier today of a walk in the rain called Psychic Bob's Rain Walk. It's in the queue right before this. Check it out, okay? And help me out. Like this, favorite it, share it with your friends. Hit subscribe. Be part of our channel. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And until then, may you always blessed be.